C'est beau, là, la mer est très agitée. Hein.
I can understand what you say. Gente, de carona voltou, mas não voltou de qualquer jeito não, porque hoje eu estou aqui entrevistando Jean Paul Gaultier, que é uma lenda viva da moda, e eu estou muito feliz. I'm very happy to be here with you today.
Me too, it's a pleasure
I'm
for
a
me.
big fan. I've been working
Thank
with
you.
for
That's
like 2 years, and to be here with you in person to ask whatever I want, it's a pleasure.
Whatever you want.
Whatever I want.
Okay.
Let's see if you answer.
Let's go to it.
I have a few questions from my readers.
Perfect.
They want to know when and how did you realize you wanted to be a designer?
It was not so clear, but I realized it at the age of 13 because I saw one movie that was already, I knew that I wanted to do something like maybe theater or musical or cabaret because I saw Folie Bergère at the TV because I am a child of the TV, you know. I wanted to do that, so I put my teddy bear with feathers because I wanted him like to be like a meneuse de revue, you know. But after, when I was 13, I saw one movie, and that movie was speaking about fashion.
What was the movie?
It was called Falbala, you know, and it was with an actress star. It was a movie of the 40s, but I saw it in 60. So it was an old movie, even for me, but it was showing the atmosphere of couture with the girl on fashion, but fashion not like in a shop, you know, with the clothes that are hanging and like I want that dress. No. It was more like a défilé. It was showing couture and presenting the clothes like in a défilé, so with the light, with the people sitting and clapping and looking and admiring. So I wanted to make that kind of show, you know.
You were a little boy with a dream.
So you know what, my dream was like to make like a fashion, of course, with nice clothes, well cut and good clothes, interesting and creative, but to present it, the apotheose was to present it on beautiful model, girls that were like nice and with attitude and that can be amused.
Yes, and your parents were very supportive also, right?
Yes, I was lucky because no parent didn't say, oh, it's not a good job, you cannot do that. They didn't know anything about it. They were a very modest person, but very nice and very humble, but very open also to what was around, you know. And so like I was lucky because it helped a little. I had one neighbor of my parents that was a painter not famous at all, I don't even know.
But it was creative.
No, but it was creative, and he saw my sketch and said, oh, that's nice. Maybe he has to do something like that. And you know what happened?
This was which decade?
That was in 68, something like 69.
Mm-hmm.
And he had his wife, his ex-wife, that was like illustrator for a magazine called L'Écho de la Mode, an old magazine that my mother could look. You know, it was like a very kind of a very popular magazine, but not fashionable very much. But she saw my sketch and she said, "Oh, it's very good." I will present this sketch, you know, to a woman that was working at Dior, you know, and she was like a cutter at Dior, and she saw it to the director artistic, which was Marc Bohan at the time, and he saw my sketches and he said, oh, it's not exactly for me, I am not looking for assistant. In reality, he didn't like I think he didn't like very much my sketch, you know. But he said, yes, but maybe he has to improve, he has to do more and to work more, and after we will see. But me, from that, I thought like maybe my sketch I can send it because I was too frightened, like to go on to say, look at my sketch, you know, so to send it by letters, you know, maybe 20 for Pierre Cardin, 20 for Saint Laurent, 20 for André Courrèges, all the couturiers like that. To all of them. On the day of my 18 years old, in 24th of April 70.
So you're Aries.
I am Taurus.
Okay, Taurus is good too. My dad is Taurus.
Well, which is excellent, is even better. My father was Aries, very good, but
Aries
Taurus number one. Exactly. When we want something, we will have it.
Yeah.
So I arrive and my mother say, I have received just one phone call from Pierre Cardin and he wants to meet you. I say, oh my God, I cannot go alone like that. So okay, we take the tube and you come with me, mother. And my mother went with me and I went up alone. And when I was there on the place of Pierre Cardin, I saw him and he took me. and I work with
And
him
he
after.
hired you right away.
Like I didn't do any school of fashion, anything like that, but only I wanted, because like I saw after the movie, I was reading everything about fashion, looking at magazine, even stealing some magazine in, because my parents have not the money, and me too, to buy like that,
How long did you work with Pierre?
Oh, very short time. You know why? Because after the couture, because there was a couture, normally, me, I was still at school, so I was half time to his place, and arrived the moment of July where it was the couture collection. But me, like I was before, I was in holiday at that time in June, I was June, July, August, September.
Spring.
So at the end of the year, so I stayed more than 6 months, At the end, they told me that there were too much people in the studio, so maybe I have to leave. But after I worked for him again, I went to Jean Paul, and after, in 76, I start my first collection.
Your own line. In the beginning, people didn't understand your concept.
Definitely. I should say that the French, especially, didn't understand what I was doing.
How was it for you?
I didn't care, because I was a little, not realizing exactly. I started with no money. So with my boyfriend, we jump, into the sea, and we swim after. It was my first show. No money for the second, not money for the third one, not money for the... After I have a lot of to pay back, because I have no more, not even less than no money,
Less than no money.
So I was but I was lucky, because somebody was looking for doing a collection for them, and it gave me some money. I managed that shops that was doing a collection for themselves, selling already all the big designer, it means Thierry Mugler and Claude Montana. They make me confidence, and they took me, and I could do my collection, their collection, and I present also that collection from me for them.
After this, what was the first big thing that made you like Jean Paul Gaultier? Was it Madonna? Before Madonna?
I think before, because for example, everybody speaks about the cônico bra, but that I did first to my teddy bear, because I wanted to have a doll when I was a child.
A teddy bear
and I
bra.
put the pointed breast, and also another thing, I did one collection in 81. It was like a corset dress, because I was feeling that it was after women's liberation, the women's liberation, the daughter of those women, they wanted to have even something feminine, a little corsetry. On me, I did a corset, the corset that I saw of my grandmother. I did it like a dress, a long dress, with all the lace up at the back, and I did corset, a corset dress. So that makes a big impact. From there, I think people start, even in France, to speak about me, and I make also the sailor stripes, and after it was for men, because I was very shocked, because I saw that everybody was saying, for the girl, for example, that the model, oh yes, be beautiful and shut up. If when you are beautiful, you cannot be clever. And I find that stupid, because I find most of the time, exactly, and most of the time I find the girls and the women more clever than the men. That was only playing football, and that's it, and nothing in the mind, sometimes. So I was I want to show that also men can be an object, because it was true that it was changing the time also, because there were some girls that were liking also some men that were more fragile. So I saw that kind of changement. So I wanted to show the man that was changing. So I did, and also the skirt for men, etc. But I wanted to show a man that was also sexy, and not to be, because before, when a man was sexy, it has not to be said. If no, it was maybe he's gay, maybe he's like that. Beginning 70s, one guy that make an advertising, and he was in underwear, and all the people were shocked and saying, oh, he must be gay, he must be Greek and gay. Can you imagine how stupid?
My God. This you're saying, this confrontation, you were doing decades ago, and now it's so updated to have a cause on social media and stuff. How do you see that? Because everyone's talking about feminism, empowerment, and all this.
But I think that I felt that already, because I was surrounded. The girls that I chose first were not real model. The first in my shows, it was girl for example, Farida Kelfa, which is now quite known, but she was a strong girl, and she was a friend also. The band of the Palace, which was with Edwige, which was the French queen of the punk. So they were a strong girl, saying things and not frightened by men, and saying no, we don't want that. No way, having their own life. So I felt very much into those that's the fact that now even if we want to be sexy, it's not only like to please a man, it's also to please ourselves because we want to be sexy, you know. And I see that now it's coming back also sometimes some problem. I heard me that I do quebra, etc., which was like comment the step after the woman that burns their bra, you know. So me, it was only because I choose like to have that. It is not like to be a woman object, only because I find it nice, the girls that were wearing that. Now, again, there was a problem because there was one girl that was wearing no bra under a t-shirt.
Recently.
Can you imagine? Recently, in America. Okay. Like t-shirt, and you feel the tits, you know, there. Can you imagine? So, me, I find that scandalous.
Sometimes
you know, it's going back.
Yes.
So I make my last collection of haute couture, like with plastic transparent ear, with like freeze the nipple, you know.
I loved it. It was so good. I don't wear bra.
Eh ben, that's good. That's excellent.
Yeah.
I think it's very nice and very sexy at the same time. But it's not a provocation.
Can you tell me a curiosity about the work you did with Madonna?
For me,
something that nobody knows.
Yeah. No, what I can say, it was a fabulous collaboration because really I was a fan of her, you know. It's why when she asked me, I was so happy because I said truly it's like, but I find it like something normal and legitimate, you know, legitimate. Because like I saw how she treats the men, like object sometimes, you know, and she was a very macho woman, you know. So it's exactly how I was seeing some women that have a part of masculinity and hyper-femininity, and she's definitely that, you know. So like to dress her, already she was wearing my dress, some of my dress, you know, like a corset dress for the premiere of Suzanne Desperately, Seeking Suzanne Desperately. She was wearing one corset dress I did in black, and after in the evening one white one. So I was very happy when she asked me to do it, because I prefer her to have my own clothes than to make some copy.
Yes,
so
sure.
And I was happy to participate to that. It was an incredible thing. Like even she asked me when she came to Paris to make the show, the Blonde Ambition tour, she asked me to come on stage with her, you know, like to thank me. Yeah. And so at the end I came like that. It was something incredible. But we have a lot of things in common. The first of Cannes with in bed with Madonna. It was in Cannes. It was incredible. All the people that were, and she was like quite like concentrate herself before, you know, and after it was incredible because, you know, she arrived, we arrived, because we were all the team of the In Bed with Madonna, you know, we were all there, and she has to take the stairs, you know. She arrived from a boat, we arrived from a boat, and she stand, and after there were all the fans that were on the side, and there was the stairs, the big stairs, and they put like some gates, some barrier with protection, with bodyguard. One moment she said, okay, we go. So the music came, and we start to go up on the stairs, and at the time she went up, all the fans that were behind pushed so much that it was half of the wide, because it came like smaller like that. First she concentrated and saw it, and one moment when she arrived to, I don't know, the 20 years or 30 years stairs, she turned and she opened and showed her conic brows, which was white, etc. But it was incredible because when she was down, she said at which eye she has to do it and to turn. She thinks about everything. She is absolutely fabulous. Amazing. She's a control freak. Total control freak.
And your friends?
And I am friend, and I love her, I admire her. She's really unique.
She was at his musical.
Yeah, she came to see my fashion freak show.
Yes, your fashion, which is amazing. You guys have to check it out if you're in Paris. This is something I'm very curious to know. Why did you stop doing prêt-à-porter in 2014?
I should say you the truth. First of all, it's like now 40 years that I am in fashion. Bon. So I make a lot, you know. And also the thing has changed, you know. I think that now clothes are not so much to be worn, they are more to be looked at. People look at the clothes, you know. There is too many there is so many different labels, so many different, you know, so many, and there is less people to wear it. So now people don't wear so much the clothes. So I was thinking that maybe it should be better to make like a show. But now they look at, so sometimes they look at the clothes as something to look visually and say, oh, and the show was nice, the music was good, etc. You know, so they seem it more like a show. And like me, I always to do
and you
show.
like to do show.
Exactly.
Anyway.
So I say, okay, I will stop that now, go on the couture, which is smaller, and to do
The perfume.
real fashion freak
Yeah,
show,
the
for
fact-
example.
Yeah, because the perfume line is very important for you.
Exactly.
Right?
So it's a kind of advertising at the same time, and it's something that I wanted to do. And it was my dream of child, first dream before fashion.
Yes, this is true because this is any designer dream. I mean, it's nice to do clothes and everything, but I think the pressure to do a collection every 6 months.
Yes, I think it's too much. And now
to sell.
not only one.
Not
now
only
because
one.
there is a cruise, there is
True.
like a premiere, enfin, the pre-collection, the men and all the accessories. So many. It's huge. And me, like I started with alone. So I don't know how to work with a lot of people. So it's my creation and I love that. I love to do it. So in some way, it's make too much
Yes.
collection. I should say you cannot concentrate. And even now you are more about the quantity you are doing more than to think about what to do. What is good and the right for the moment. Because we are also in a moment of changement. Of
change.
cow.
Yes.
Because we are in a millennium and a new millennium, and so it is like changing all the thing. There is like in society, in everything, in politics, in even the ecology, even the nature is like moving, big changement. So we have to think more what to do, what could be the perspective.
Yeah, it's good. You can create bigger things like the freak show, like the thing you're doing in Rio, in Carnaval
which
next
is like
year.
fabulous and very
Yes, it's art, it's fashion,
exciting.
it's lifestyle, all together.
Exactly.
It's big things. So
Exactly.
you do clothes, you do perfume that sell a lot, and then you can do whatever you want to promote your brand.
Definitely.
Which is amazing.
How lucky I am.
Yes.
I have not to complain, I should
You
say.
can't complain.
At all.
And what do you think about fashion nowadays, the fashion week? What do you think about this changing?
But I think what I am a little sad, and it shows what we are saying before, is that people speak more about, like on dit, les chaises communicantes. You know, that people are changing, going from that place, one designer, is like coming from one place to another one.
You don't like
Slimane
that.
is going there. It's not that I don't like. I think people speak about that, but don't speak anymore about the clothes, about fashion. You know, they
Yes.
speak about how that one will go, and that one because people, I think, is like so frightened because also it's changing. Even the magazine are changing. Everything is changing with the internet. Everything is changing. You know, now visual. You know, so everybody is more like who will be the next and who will be there and who, more than that is fashion now.
Yeah, they are hungry for the new all the time.
Exactly.
Yes. It's very tiring. What about Carnaval? What are you planning?
Oh, it's fabulous, you know, because it's a dream, like a dream, you know, some things that I didn't even think about before, you know. So it's very good because truly I love it, and I saw already the Carnaval.
You've been here before.
Yes, I went there and I saw it, and it was fantastic. Everybody knows about Carnaval in Rio, which is the most famous. There's the one of Venice, which is completely different, but the one of Rio, it's Allegria, it's so funny, it's so beautiful, at the same time spectacular, and dancing, the atmosphere is unique all over the world. So, of course, I was interested, and when there were, already one time I was supposed maybe to do something, but I didn't know exactly what, it didn't succeed, but that time it is with Portela.
Why Portela?
Because it's a like, very good school of samba. It's fabulous, and you know they are like good one, or the most important one.
And they
I should
have
say.
the blue and white.
Exactement, the blue and white, a marinière.
Yes,
so
a
there is a
marinière.
connection, a real connection.
Do you already
with
know
me.
what you're drawing for them?
Of course, blue and white.
Blue and white. I can't wait. I'm gonna be with you. You know.
I know that. I
I am
love that. I'm
so
very excited.
excited
You will have to
for that.
teach me a little of samba
I have
because
to learn.
I move the shoulder and it's the hips that it has to move. What can I do?
I know a little bit, so
A little bit. I
I'll
am
do a
sure
few
you do very
classes,
well.
and
A
then
little classes, but simple. Huh?
we're gonna have a lot of fun. Thank
I am
you
sure.
so
It was a
much
pleasure
for your
so
time.
much.
It was such a pleasure. Beijo. Can you
Beijos.
send outro? Can you send a kiss to Brazil?
To Brazil.
And to my blog, which is called, I'm sure you're gonna like, Garotas Estúpidas, something like stupid girls.
Oh.
Beijo.
Beijo.